The good news is that I do have a story. It's actually a series of stories, because unfortunately, my best friend and I have the relationship of it was a good idea at the time. So I had to call him, and he gave me about 3. So I'm edibly handicapped, because if you say that you have an eating disorder, people think that you're bulimic. But the thing is that I can't eat wheat, soy, tree nuts, peanuts, dairy, strawberries, or kiwi. So basically, I eat fruits, vegetables, meat, alcohol, and rice. So because I can't eat very many of these foods, I have basically decided that my friend is going to be my proxy whenever I want to eat something. His name is Lance, and he's very nice. And usually when I'm looking at something longingly, he's willing to put it in his mouth. So that's the good news. The first time I met Lance was pretty cool. He ended up being a pretty neat guy right away. And the first thing that I ended up deciding for him to eat were Oreos, because I looked at them, and I looked at them longingly, and they have dairy and soy and wheat, and they have a containment of possibly nuts, and I couldn't eat it. So I just kind of looked at Lance, and I'm like, Lance, I really want to eat these Oreos. Can you please eat these Oreos for me? And he's like, yes, fine. So I started feeding him Oreos. The problem was that I didn't know him very well, and he doesn't really have the greatest form of expression. He says that expressions are kind of hard for him. He just kind of puts them on so that it's like socially appropriate. His "please stop doing this" is the most adorable thing I have ever seen. So I kept feeding him more Oreos. I fed him the entire time. It was wonderful. So we get later into our relationship, and I'm deciding that I want to eat stuff too. It'd be really awesome and cool. So I started experimenting, and one of the things that I can eat are grapefruit. So I began to put grapefruit in everything. I put grapefruit in soup, and I made him eat it. I put grapefruit in tacos. He ate that too. And then it comes to the time where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to feed you any of the stuff that I can eat. I'll eat this weird stuff by myself. No, I won't. No, I decided that was a really bad idea, so now I just eat grapefruit the way it was meant to be. So I decided that I was going to end up being a nice person and give him normal food and give him an okay amount of normal food. So I taught him about ants in a log. It's celery, and then you put on peanut butter, and then you put on raisins. And he had never had this before, so I was like, okay, I'm going to make you ants on a log. It's okay, it's safe, it doesn't have grapefruit in it, you're going to be okay. Well, it turns out that the celery I got was really, really, really big, so the depth in the celery, the thing that you put peanut butter in, was really, really, really deep. And I ended up using far too much peanut butter. I think I used about half a jar. He won't eat peanut butter to this day. And I feel really bad for him. But he's still nice to me anyways, and we're still friends. And he's still willing to eat the things I can't. And that's my story about being edibly handicapped.